YouTube, Pipe Nutter here, how you all doing? I had a request a little while ago to do something on plug tobaccos, and as you can see in front of you, I have a tin of Peterson's 3Ps, or Peterson's Perfect Plug, and I have the pipe that I've selected, which is a Mike Couch Canadian. I got this one when I went to Chicago. Very nice pipe. Really cool pipe actually. If you don't have a Mike Couch pipe, then you are truly missing out. So we're gonna smoke a bowl of 3Ps, which by the way I've never tried before. So this is also a first for me. Now it's a Virginia Burley blend, as you may or may not be able to read. You gonna focus? No, you're not. It says it's Virginia from Africa and Brazil, blended with burley leaf from Malawi. These tobaccos are slightly cased before drying and pressed, and then are heated and stored for 2 weeks before cutting. The result is a full-bodied yet fruity blend, sure to appeal to the experienced pipe smoker. Now I've had other plug tobacco before. Actually, one other. It was Mick McQuaid plug, and I've been told by reliable sources that this is similar to Mick McQuaid plug, only it's a little bit lighter. So I've already put a coin under the lid to crack the seal. So I've had this now for I think about 8 months thereabouts. I just haven't gotten around to smoking any of it. So what you're going to need for smoking plug tobaccos is A, your pipe, B, your tobacco, and C, a good knife, preferably one with a very thin blade on it. This is an Opinel Carbone, and as you can see, the blade is incredibly thin. So here we go. So we've got our knife, we've got a pipe, lighter, and tobacco. So crack the tin. Looks like any other normal tin. Until here we go. This is something I wasn't expecting. We packaged in a little seal bag. Okay, so here we have a plug, so we can better the light somewhat. Highly pressed. That is hard as a rock. You can see all the layers in there. God knows how long this has been pressed for before they let it out. They say 2 weeks on there, but who knows. There is some crystallization on there. So yeah, it does feel like it has some moistness about it. So anyway, what to do with it? Like I said, you need a very good sharp knife. Let's see if we can reposition the camera a little bit better so you can see this. Okay, so we want to cut some nice fine flake slices essentially. So you want to cut it as thin as you possibly can without ruining the flake. I'm doing this on my workbench, so I don't care about the knife going into the bench. So there's one. So if you get it right, you should get a flake somewhat like that. Now these are rather moist. Yeah, sort of screwed up that last one, but anywho. So yeah, they are a bit moist. You could possibly smoke it as it is, or you can do what I'm going to do and let it dry out somewhat before I actually set a light to it. So there we go. So they're around about the same size as an Orlik Dark Kentucky, or sorry, an Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky Flake or a Peter Heinrichs Dark Strong Flake. So only a whole lot more moist. Has a really nice fruity note to it, very raisiny, dark fruits, dark plum, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna hack off a little bit more and let it dry out somewhat, and I'll be back to light it up and let you know what I think of it. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, I suppose, 10 minutes. Now I've got my flakes and I've rubbed them out, so they're sort of well, they're very much a broken flake, but they're you know, it's long, thin ribbons. So message on here. So yeah, it's ready to pack. And as with other plugs that I've had, I've just sort of, once it's like so, this is partially why I picked this particular pipe, because it's got a decent sized bowl on it. We'll just grab our flake and poke it on down in there. Don't overpack your pipe. Never ever overpack your pipe. You can always tamp it down. It's like toothpaste out of a tube. Yeah, you can't put it back in. Well, once you've got a tight pipe, you can't loosen it off. Well, not with too much ease anyway. The dish I've got here is like it's half a backy flap I screwed up, so but it makes for a good little dish for rubbing out flakes. So so that was about two and a half flakes, something like that. So that's nicely packed. This will probably rear up a little bit when I light it, but draws nice. It's got a very nice fruity taste. Looking forward to this actually. And if you're interested, I'm pairing it with a cup of coffee. Just doing a charring light. Like I said, that tobacco rears up a little bit, but nothing too amazing. So just tamping down and get it going. Right off the bat, yeah, right off the bat, I can tell you this is this tobacco is no joke. A lot of burley in it, a lot of burley, a little bit more than I thought would be in it, to be honest, or that the tin note gave off to it. But not wholly, not horrible. As you can see, we're getting a nice white ash already, so it's burning nice. Note to self: do not inhale this tobacco. It's pretty strong. Like it says on the tin, it's definitely for a experienced pipe smokers, or someone at least with a cast iron throat that doesn't mind inhaling something like this shit. If you can inhale nightcap or something like that, well then I think you should be pretty right to inhale this stuff. But as most pipe smokers are, we don't necessarily inhale all the time, so. Very nice. Very nice. So, if you want to try something a little different, and something that takes time to prepare. I rather like smoking plug tobacco simply because there's a whole ritual that goes through it. You know, the cutting, the preparing, the drying, and the packing, and all that sort of stuff. It suits my my interest in the hobby down to the ground. So yeah, really enjoyable process to go through. I'm sitting down in my shop at the moment. Everything's quiet. I've got my Dunhill book ready to read. I've got a nice big cup of coffee, and I've got a sizable bowl of tobacco which will keep me puffing for quite some time. So if you want to try something different, 3Ps, Peterson's 3Ps. What I might suggest is that once you've opened it, it's nice keeping tobaccos in the tin, but that tin will not keep your tobacco good and moist. I dare say that tin will I'll have to dry out. So I would put it in a mason jar, or at least a couple of Ziploc bags anyway, with the air pressed out of it. So anyway, yeah, I hope this was of some use to you. For those anyone curious about plug tobaccos, thanks again to Mike Couch for the awesome pipe, and yeah, keep 'em puffing. Cheers for now.